Hey, hey. Let's see, everything's on. Happy Saturday, y'all. Happy Saturday. It is a great Saturday. I wanted to chat with you guys really quickly if you don't know. My name is Skylar Reed. I'm a vocal coach. I'm a business owner. I am a singer, R&B soul artist. I sing in pretty much anything though. And I have been on this journey to New Year's Eve, this show that I have coming up. And I've been sharing with you guys that process, giving you guys little tidbits. I always share some tips. I'm known on YouTube for riff and run videos and vocal tip videos and stuff like that. And since I've started the Sky Society, this is my YouTube membership. Um, I have been coming on live. This month has been a little wild. Okay. So the holidays, things are a little different, but for the most part, I've been coming on live every Saturday afternoon and just dropping some little tips on preparing for shows, preparing for gigs, all that stuff. So if you are an artist or a singer, definitely check out my previous lives and whatnot. Today, I wanted to talk about my band rehearsal that I had this past week, and just getting ready for this New Year's Eve show, and give you guys some tips and whatnot for that. If you are a singer, if you're singing backgrounds and all the things, and maybe go over a song or two. I've actually mastered my so proud. I've mastered my sets for this. I have 3 sets. It's a 4-hour show for this New Year's Eve gig, and it's um it's been amazing preparing for it. It has pushed me and challenged me in ways I have never been challenged. So I'm really proud of me, honestly. Like these past couple months, I've been really pushing myself. I have learned how to rap. I have learned how to sing different songs and different things. So it's been fun. So the other day on Monday, I had band rehearsal for this show, and we did one big band rehearsal. So we met for 3 hours, and I was myself. I had a bassist, drummer, guitarist, and keyboardist, and 2 background singers. And basically, in preparation for this, I am the lead singer, and I was asked to bring my band to sing for this New Year's Eve performance at this luxury hotel in Buckhead. And I wanted to bring in background singers because obviously singing 4 hours is a very long time um, for me. And obviously I could do it, but I definitely think it'll be way better if I had background singers to uh, give those extra harmonies and whatnot, and also take the load off a little bit by doing some of their own um doing some covers that they like and whatnot. So it was really great just curating the set, curating the whole vibe for the evening, and it was really fun, to do that. So in preparation, I'm like a super organized person, so I created a Google Drive, for this show. I had the set list, which continued to change, especially leading up to rehearsal. I was changing it, like, every day, like, adjusting it, tweaking it, like, when do we wanna be on stage? When do we wanna take a break? When do we wanna dance when we wanna, do different things, who's singing when, all that stuff. And it was just fun to like figure out. It was really, really fun to figure out. So on rehearsal day, I I just felt calm, and typically I'm a little anxious, but I just felt super calm, and then rehearsal went so well. Like, I didn't look at my lyric sheet once. In preparation, I did also create lyric sheets that I dropped into the drive. So for the background singers, more so, I created a lyric sheet so they would know when I wanted them to sing. Typically, if I've been a background singer, when I'm a background singer, I would go to rehearsal and find out at the rehearsal what needed to happen. But because we only did one major, it's around the holiday, so it's really hard to meet. We did one major vocal rehearsal with the background singers, and then they've been meeting and practicing on their own and working together to get their parts down and whatnot. So it all came together really. So they would see my notes and see the marked red. This is what I want y'all to sing, and then we'd have our rehearsal, and we had a rehearsal maybe a couple weeks ago. Um, yeah, a couple weeks ago. So they were able to know exactly what the notes were and everything. I have a few background parts. The only song that's like weird for me, background wise, is "No One" by Alicia Keys. I'm taking like the high. It's really an alto background part, and it's just a really weird. It's like no one, no one, no one, no one. It's so I don't even know right now. I gotta get the key, but it's just so weird. It's just like what is it again? So that's the only one that's kinda, like, tricky as a background vocalist. And then all the rest of them, I'm just like, "Okay," like, it's songs we know. I'm thrilled that everyone thought the set list was dope, like, everyone liked it. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun," you know? So that made me feel really good. I have Prince in there, I have Usher, I have Bruno Mars, Beyoncé, um, just people, just amazing artists and whatnot. So the bands, they have their moments. Put some Teddy Swims in there. They have their moments where they will do a little just band break. I put A Marie One Thing, which I could sing, but I'm not singing that. But just like having songs that the band could just jam on. And we really worked on so with rehearsal, it was a 3-hour rehearsal, and I'm like, okay, I want to get through like start to finish. And thankfully everything went smooth. We got through most of the set. Like I made sure to I was like there were songs where I'm like, I don't need to practice this. Like I'm cool. I gig often and half the time I never practice with the band. But my focus for rehearsal was making sure that the transitions were there. So being an artist that likes to perform with musicians, especially if I'm curating my own show, for me, it's all about the transition. It's all about how are we going from one song to the next. I sat down. With these songs and did a lot of research on like what songs are in the same key, just a whole bunch of different stuff to try to figure out look, what song should go after what. So one of the main things we focus on were the transitions. I have a Beyonce medley that I'm doing over Get Me Bodied, and then it goes into Break My Soul, and then it goes into Before I Let Go. So it's like all those transitions, and then there's and the band they most of them I've already played together before, and I played with 2 of them before, and usually I always call my keyboardist, to play. So, it's just nice to, like we all know each other, it's all cool, and then the background singers, I've been getting to know the 2nd vocalist, the male vocalist, and female vocalist, we're really close, so we're already friends and stuff. So, it's really good to have that, connection, that communication when you are, in a band, because when you have that, you can just communicate better and you could just groove better. It's really good when when everyone knows each other. There's one person that I've never met, but it's okay. Like he was professional, he was a great musician, and it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be really great. So with band rehearsal, we ran through all the songs. Set one took a long time because set one was the oldies. And if you know anything about the oldies, you know the oldies had backgrounds. Okay, talking. I want to dance with somebody, Whitney Houston. I'm your baby tonight, Whitney Houston. Michael Jackson, PYT. Luther Vandross, never too much, not too much in there, but there are Ascension, Maxwell, not super old, but still is a little dated. So there are these songs that definitely have a lot of heavy backgrounds or just more words, more things going on where of course everyone knows, but it was like, let's get through. It was good that we got through those. And it was good for the background singers and us all to just like practice with the band and feel those transitions out. Cause that's like, I put in Bobby Brown, My Prerogative, and we have Poison and just getting those transitions so it really flows and it's fun. And we're not just like, we're just gonna play song and then stop and play the next song and then stop. Like that's like basic. So it was really cool to do that. The second set is where I get into like my R&B, and it was good to just practice it. I'm like, okay, and it felt good also to sing because I haven't really. I was like, let me take some time. I don't think I had a haven't had a gig since October. I think it was October. My last gig was October. And I was like, let me just focus in on this New Year's Eve set. I didn't want to practice anything else besides this. I didn't want to Oh no, I did something in November. Or no, yeah, November, the beginning of November I had a gig actually. Um but my focus was like let me not do anything too big because I want to lock in on these songs. So I felt really good that I memorized my music, and I've talked before in previous videos on how I memorize my music, like the steps to go about doing so and whatnot. And really, it's been a I don't listen to anything but this New Year's Eve set, and it's a lot of music to listen to. And I put some of my originals in the set because I will forget my own lyrics. Um, so just making sure like I am constantly like having the music in my ears and not listen to the same set over and over because that first set I know like the back of my hand. I always do it. But it was good in rehearsal seeing like I don't need to do this song, I don't need to do that song. With the band, I can be fine. Like for example, Sweet Love by Nita Baker. Cool. Like, I can sing that in my sleep. Jill Scott, A Long Walk. I do that all the time. Don't need to, like, rehearse that. The band knows it. They know these songs, but the songs that they weren't maybe well, they were probably familiar with everything. But for example, Slide by Doechii. It's like, they weren't necessarily all familiar with that, and I'm not familiar with singing that. So I'm like, "Let me practice that." And I was surprised I remember my lyrics. I wasn't looking at my lyrics. I was just vibing. And I can't wait to share the footage and share, what I have, all the things for this. It's gonna be dope. But just being able to go through that process and be like, okay, all this listening that I've done, and I think it's the listening that has helped the most. I am at a point where there weren't any songs where it was, like, too crazy, where it's like, "Oh, I need to write down the lyrics." It wasn't that deep. It wasn't too crazy. I was familiar with all of them for the most part. They're top 40 songs, really, so, I was familiar. So, it was just good to just be able to practice with the band and to know, like, "Okay, I'm good." I went over, I think the song that I was most concerned about was "Truth Hurts" by Lizzo. And that song actually came out pretty well, and I even asked them, I'm like, "Hey, let me know, like, if there's something that's whack, let me know, I'll cut it, like, it's fine." And there were some things one thing that I did, in Doechie's slide, I tried to do little medleys and add in, bring in other songs and stuff. They're like, "Nah, that doesn't work unless you change the note," and I'm just like, "Let's just." And then the background singer had a whole 'nother song that went with it, and I'm like, "That's dope, let's do that." So, it's just dope working with musicians, working with people that know music, because they bring your vision to life, but they also can add to it. So that's pretty cool. And I'm pretty flexible. I'm not like, oh, it has to be this way, my way. Like, no, like I want it to be the best show possible. I want everyone to have fun. So it was just cool to be like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, let me know. I'll cut it. So yeah, that was a change. But I asked the band, I was like, hey, how does Truth Hurt sound? Like if I sound crazy singing this, like we can cut it. And they were like, no, no, keep it. And then I even asked, I did Bang Bang, and of course Nicki Minaj raps on that one. Miss Moscato is Miss Moscato is whatever she says. And not whatever, because I do know the words. But I did that. And I was like, "Okay, should I cut it?" And they're like, "No, keep the rap." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So me practicing, and that's one of the things I did have to practice verbally every single day. A lot of the songs I would just have to listen to. But you kind of can tell, if you're a musician, you kind of can tell like this is where I need to put my focus, This is what I need to focus in on. So you can always tell these things, and it's just important to like be in tune with um where you are musically, like, okay, I know that when I started this, there's a whole group of songs where I'm like, I don't need to practice these. I don't even really need to listen to them. Maybe like once in a couple weeks. Then there's these songs like, no, I need to hear this every day because, oh my goodness, like Touch My Body by Mariah Carey. Love the song, listen to it all the time. But did I know those lyrics? No, I did not. There's Goodies by Sierra where it's like, I probably need to still listen to that because we didn't go over that in rehearsal. So it's just been interesting process to see how everything kind of fits and flows, and whatnot, and figuring out like what works for me to help me learn the songs and learn the music. So it's been really, really fun. I want to do, um, let's see. I'll do Get Me Body because this is such a crazy oh, and Work, I've been practicing that. I think I did that on my live once. Practicing Work, that song, it was hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was so hard when I first started singing that song by Rihanna, but the more I practiced it and relaxed, it got easier. It's like, "Oh, I don't need to work, 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 work." So when you're in a corporate band, in a corporate setting or, in this kind of world. Because sometimes I do stuff that's on the artist side where I could just like flow and do what I want. Then there's sometimes I'm doing stuff where it's like, no, like it's they're gonna want to expect the song the way it is. I definitely make sure that I am mimicking the artist and stuff. So anyway, I will go, but I just want to pop in and whatnot. I'll definitely be going live. So catch that on my artist page. Catch that. I'll be going live so you guys can see the show, and there's gonna be some awesome content and stuff from it as well. So anyway, hope you guys have a great December, great holiday season. I will not be on here probably until January, but make sure you guys join the Sky Society, the membership on YouTube, and in January Patreon will be available for you guys to join there where we could work one-on-one and everything. Even on YouTube, we can work one-on-one. So I'm looking and hoping to see more of you in the memberships to access the members only content because I want to drop more gems and whatnot. So y'all have a great one. Bye.